Howdy folks, Ed again, Danneberg Acres. Here we are back in the shop. Got my crazy shop glasses on. We are back on the kids' 2009 Dodge Caliber. What a content star this little car has been. It now has about 238,000 kilometers on the odometer and still has suspension problems. So one of the major things we're dealing with is the front tracking, and we took it to a shop and asked for an alignment, and they just did not want to do it. They wouldn't do it in alignment for us because they said it had a bunch of worn out things. So we replaced the tie rod on this end and a ball joint on the other end, and the back, they said, is way out. And I guess this happens with these cars. They just wear and the camber goes out. So I've got a bunch of stuff to address all of this. What I'm going to do is we're going to see if we can't reclock the steering wheel, because it's like a quarter of the ways out. And I know on lots of cars I used to work on, you just take the steering wheel off and, take it off, pop it back on where you want it. All right, sitting in the car with the wheels straight, the tires going straight, going down the road straight. That's where the steering wheel sits. It's clocked about, I don't know, what's that, 10, 15 degrees off. And so I'm going to go in, I'm going to undo that bolt in there, and we're going to take it off and reclock it, put it back on straight. A couple of 10mm bolts on either side of the steering wheel let you take the airbag off the front there. So we'll just get these off. I've already loosened them. That one. And then get around the other side here, down the bottom, underneath, from the underneath. Got it halfway taken apart here. Oh, good. All right, that's what those look like. A couple of those are in there, and then this should just like pop off. Oh, there we go. Okay, so hang on a second, got to put this down and unhook the wires that are connected to the airbag. All right, got these couple of wires off in the back of the airbag. They connect right there. We'll set that aside on there. Then we'll get the big steering wheel bolt out from the middle here. Need more leverage. Get the leverage going here. This great ratchet that you can make smaller, longer. Look at how long it's going here. All right, that should get that done there. Okay, that's loose enough. Loose enough. Get her by hand now. There we go. All right, so just get this out of here. Now all you gotta do is yank the steering wheel off. Should yank off. Oh, there we go. Oh, Jesus, what was that back there? All right, that should work. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Yay. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, no. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. Stop. Oh, my God. This is the clock spring. I don't think that's supposed to come apart like that.
Dr. Crane, your glockenspiel has sprung to life.
Is that just sitting back there? Oh, Lord. Hang on. I gotta put this phone on a clip here. The camera on a clip. Okay, there's too much going on there, so I had to put you guys up on the window there. What is happening here? This clock spring is supposed to be clipped on there. Now look, these have kind of popped out of their spot to be. Clip this back on. Oh my gosh. Clock springs of whatever they're called, these little ribbons are kind of on top of each other now. Ah, no, I don't want to. That's what they call it, a clock spring, because it goes boing. Fuck, come on. Oh no, this is not good. Oh my God. Oh, no. Oh, Jesus. Now look. Oh, how did that... All right, I'm trying to keep my wits about me here, figure out how it winds back on itself. Boy, has anybody ever wound a clock spring back up? Hey, wait a minute. Around itself there. And it looked like it was kind of like wound back on itself. I think this tab here was at the bottom. What the? Oh my god, there's these clips inside here. Let me show you what I'm doing here. A little closer view. So what happens is it wraps around this side, like just like you think it would, comes out of there and then goes around and around and around. And then on this end, it wouldn't keep going the same way. These two go back and fold on each other. This one goes up and then back down. If you went around, it would kink on itself. So what I gotta do is I gotta get this back on with those two folds, not pinching the other wires. Holy crap, okay, look at this, I got it. It kept, you know, one of those ribbons kept popping out the bottom here. And it's almost impossible to get your fingers sorted. Now, it doesn't seem to be clipping in though properly. Like nothing's holding it so it doesn't come back out. See that? It's half clipped. It's like, what the hell? Why is it half clipped? The faceplate wants to come off again. It seems like it's gonna work. Turn it. Not binding or anything. Let's see if I can get that clip clipped in there. It's got a clip on each side. They don't want to stay. Okay, you know what I did? I held the little inside piece here, and then it came out a bit, and it allowed me to clip it. So now look, it feels like it's going to stay there. You gotta make sure it's in the middle because I lost which way's in the middle. Turn it all the way. That's all the way one way. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. That should be the middle, right? Should be in the middle. All right, put the steering wheel back on, see what happens. So I was just showing my son that it seems to be working. And I noticed this piece here. What the hell? I think this piece was inside there. And that the tape went around here and then out these little slots. Oh my lord. Now either I have to try to unclip that and put this back in. I don't know what to do here. It still does kind of click, which I'm not a fan of. Hear this? Hear that? It's probably clicking because it needs that thing in there. But I mean, it seems to work really nicely. What the hell? What should I do? I don't want it to go wrong, or something to go bad. Or the airbag to pop because it's going to short. I'm going to have to see how much these are online and decide what to do here. I want to make sure I do it properly. All right. Well, I'm waiting to decide what to do there. We're going to get parts in the new Subaru Crosstrek here. And check this out. It's got Sky Active or Active Steering or something like that. It's got a little thingy on the dash there. It shows you how close you are to the other car. Up there I got the cruise control on. And then it tells you if there's a lane departure. And you can also set it here. See, like automatic steering, so like hands-free. Check this out. Oh, it goes to the yellow line, kind of kicks back a bit. It's got the cruise control on, which stays that far from the car ahead. You can set that further or further back. See that? No hands. After a while, it'll say keep hands on steering wheel. Hands on the steering wheel, man. But then it starts beeping at you. All right, put my hands on the steering wheel. As soon as you touch it a bit, that goes away. So that's kind of like self-driving mode, I guess. It's got these two lasers up there, and apparently they had put in a cheap windshield, Chinese made, which wasn't exactly the right settings, or it wasn't exactly straight. and the radar didn't like it, so they had to change the windshield for us. And then now it all works. Hands free. Yes, sir. Technology. Not sure if it's good or bad. If that guy stops, this car will probably slow down. Yeah, it's actually slowing down because he is. It's beeping at me because it says hands aren't on the steering wheel. But it's keeping lane. Right, Cub? It's working. Alright, so I'm going to take a nap here, and we should be at the parts store in a few minutes. You can buy this eccentric bolt kit to put in there, which would allow you to change where that bolt sits, and therefore the camber and caster. So I'm going to pop that kit in as well, see if we can't fix the backup. Because what was happening was the back tires, of course, were wearing really fast on the insides, and we just got new tires all around because you wore the other ones out right to the steel belts. And these are still good. I don't see any major wear, but you can tell the camber's off. And so it is when you lower a lot of cars, right? I had a Datsun 510 when I was a kid. And when you lowered them, they did that too. They squatted, right? Because they're pivoted. And as you lowered it, whether you had lowering springs or heated the springs, which I think I did to mine, then sat down and went like that, I think. Wearing on the inside of that back tire. Which would mean, no, so it would mean like it's going like that, top in, wearing the inside. And then the front. I'm just going to make sure I point the front tire straight again after I finish that steering wheel and clock that. So stay tuned. A few things to go here. Okay, back in the caliber here. I'm just going to get this all put together. Got the this put around. This seems to be working now. I put that other piece back in there. That took a while to get it sorted again. So when you take these apart, the first part wraps around this outside part, and then they have to go back and then double back on themselves. If you just try to keep wrapping and wrapping and then think it's gonna just like slot in there after you've wrapped it around tight, what happens is the ribbons are twisted like this, and that is alleviated by having them wrapped around, and then when they go like this, they go around that and back into the slot that they're inside in the secondary piece. So it's like a clamshell. The outside part on this one, they wrap around, and then they go around back like this, back on each other, and then they go into where they're attached to the the connections of the ribbon wires to the inside of this clamshell piece of the clock spring mechanism, and then attached to the car. And then these are for the airbags, and then the horn, I think probably is that one there. So just gonna get this back on, and then I'm going to straighten the wheel and move both the tires over so we can get a straight steering wheel without reclocking it. Because I'm not sure if I mentioned, but you can't reclock this one because it has a spline here. Otherwise, the old ones, of course, old cars, you could just take them off, put them back on. Well, most of them, any which way you wanted. But this one has a spline spot here, or a cut in the spline that has to match up with the steering wheel. And that was my problem. So let's get this back together. And going back together includes these ones. Screws that go in here, attach the two halves together, one on each side. Steering wheel. Get these wires through here so they don't get caught up. And these guys go in here. Oh my God, there's a cat in here. Ernie, what are you doing in here? Are you sleeping in here? Jesus. Okay. Now she's all in. Got that in. This is the horn. No, that's the airbag. One side of the airbag. This is the other side of the airbag. Sits there. And put that bolt in. There, you big bolt. Big bolt. Down here somewhere. There it is. Okay, missing anything? This is goes down here, bottom of that. Yellow to yellow, black to black. at that. The other one. There. Both clipped on. Then wire goes in there. And that goes back on like that. Oh, there they are. That's where they go. Let's turn the steering wheel straight and get the wheels straightened out. See how you can actually tell even from here, they're pointing to the left. Gonna move them both, like a 1/4 inch. Back to the tie rod. How far do you think for less than a 1/4 of the steering wheel turn? Start with that. So, like how many of those was there? Was that? Tell because there's nothing, everything's rusty. Let's see, I'll just find something that fits in there about that wide, about the end of this wrench. That's scientific, eh? That's scientific enough. Alright, that fits in there. See what happens when I turn it that much. Okay, so when I went to get the measuring device, I saw that it still looks like it needs to be moved more, so I think I was right in the first spot. I wanted to move it about this much. More. Kind of almost looks right now. Let's see, all we can do is try it. Okay, so I can fit this in here. Okay, that's what I'm looking at there. Right at the end, right on that first thread to the very edge of that nut. 36. Ish. 37. Let's go with 37. So I did move it. 33.94. So let's say 34. Okay, 34. We'll move the other one on 34 now. Alright, I'm on the other side here. We're gonna move this one to the right. Let's put this flashlight about there. Sorry, it's not the best LED, so it's... Alright, here we go again. Here we go again. Let's see where this one is, actually. Let's measure it. 34 is what we're looking for, right? Oh, I think it's quite a bit less. Wow. Oops, let's turn it on. 26. Sometimes it's the goop on the threads, and sometimes it's the rust, in which case you need to get the nut red hot. This helps the goop on the threads, soften up anything like that, but if it's rust, gotta use the big torch. It's working a little bit, still pretty tight, but she's moving. What you need when you're doing a job like this is some big pillow. Hold your head up. Hold your neck. Let's see where we're at, measurement wise. My son is sick, if you're wondering why I'm doing this all by myself now. So this one, we're going to lengthen, right? It's nice to have a soundtrack, but you know how YouTube is. Here, I'll put one in while we make this go faster. I'm looking for 4 mils, right? Looking to add 4 mils. 4 millimeters, that is. Wrong way. Okay, there. Look, I opened it too much. That's 6.5 almost mils. So back a bit. All right, let's call it good. Take it for a test drive after I do the back. Yes, check that out. I was back in the backyard fixing some watering pipes, and that is a gorgeous stand of wheat, they call it. And yeah, I was just fixing our water line, which runs all the way around the edge of our property in the pasture. And once in a while the horses catch it on their hoof. Should be buried, but it's not. Or they break the hard plastic pieces, or just a leak develops for no reason, like right here. So I just need to cut that with the X-Acto knife and fit a union on it, and that'll seal it up. So let's get that done. I just put some manure on it to mark the slice it fairly straight. I just turned the water off. That's why there's water still leaking out of it. Probably gonna leak out of it for a while. That's all right. I think I can do it with the water on or leaking like that. Oh, look how much dirt's in there. Simple as that. One end. That on the other end. Layer back down. Okay, turn it back on. Shannon way up at the house there to turn the water back on. Just way up there at the house. So we'll get this water cranked back on and see if she leaks. She says it's on. See how close I can zoom in the house. There she comes walking there around the corner. All right, got that fixed up. The water is back on, and there's no leak at all there. Perfect. All right, on to the back end now. Got a little Olympic b-ball in the background. Oh, and of course the dog in the foreground. Get out of the way, Danica. Danica, oh my God. So as I was saying, get the back end done here, and a little Olympic b-ball on the tube back there. Men's basketball, USA Latvia. Good game. USA's behind. There's James. I'm sure he can turn it around. Those weren't very tight after they put the new wheels on, new tires. Before she comes rolling in again, gets in the camera. So I bought this kit here a while back, and I'm going to use this now for the rear. See if we can't get a 0 reading for the camber. The way it sits now, no, I do have it jacked up. I probably should have done this on the ground. And this is magnet, so it ain't going to work on these alloys. But let's see if it works on the other side without the wheel on. Which you couldn't do, I guess, if it was on the floor anyway, so this would give us camber reading, and gives us, can't even tell where it is. Oh, there's the bubble there. Looks like we're at, still moving, 5 degrees. 5 degrees positive camber. And then I want to move it outwards until I get another degree or 2 on it, and then should work out. see what we got on this side. So at least they're even. 5. Can you see that? It's pretty hard to see. Bubbles down at that end. 5. Positive camber. There it is. Way down there. So I'm just going to soak these down with WD-40 and get after them in a little bit. Pow! Oops. It's knocked off my camber caster. Alignment tool with the WD-40. Pow! Not cool. Not cool. Get her bath down here. God, I love the Olympics. Who else loves the Olympics? And maybe I didn't even need the bolts. Maybe it's got an adjustment here. Interesting. Always something, right? Okay. That looks like it's going to lead to a bunch of heat anyways, but we'll start with WD-40. 2. WD-WD. Learn something new. Down by 15 points, and I'm sure they'll take it out. Anyways, don't want to get an infraction of any kind, YouTube, copyright. Yeah, back to this shortly. Brought them some mushrooms. They don't seem too interested. I said, oh, just leave them like that. That way they're not all over the place. They're like, I'm looking at them. No, that doesn't look like food. Shannon says, they'll eat anything. I don't think so. They're not eating those tomatoes, and they're not eating those mushrooms. They're like, yeah, mushrooms. We don't eat mushrooms. Okay. All right, ladies. No mushrooms then. We're learning what you like and what you don't like. All right. So let's show the whole procedure here. Get the gas opened up. My striker. And I have the big cherry tip there, but it throws so much heat and so much fire around. I don't use it under the car because, of course, the gas tank's right there and everything. But what I'm going to do is just heat up that nut. Like I showed, I had WD-40 on it yesterday. But we'll get this. All right, we'll get that heated up here. Alright, should do it. 15er. Oh, that broke her loose. Alright, get that loosey-gooseyed and then knock that concentric back with a hammer and a punch. Okay, got a variety of punches here. See what I can reach in here best. Try to knock that over. Try the chisel. Make our own little spot on it. Alright, that moved it like a mill. So, put this alignment tool back on here. What do we got now? Pretty hard to see on the camera, especially with no light in the back, or too much light in the back. Tighten back up in here. So like I said, the bolts I bought are the same as the ones that are in here. And these ones, I don't want to pull them out if I don't have to, but if I have to change those bushings, that's when I'm going to have to change those out. So probably good to have them on hand. They weren't very much, 20 bucks or something Canadian. $5 American. There, all right, put that back. And let's put the tires back on. See if it looks like anything by the eye. Get my stuff away. Alignment tool. Fizzle. Come on. This goes on the bolt heating kit. Turn those off. Empty the hose always. Waste a little gas there. Go up. Watch your feet. I tell you, my back has been killing me so badly. Getting worse and worse and worse. I got some new drugs. Hallelujah. Oh, let's scrape this side. I did the outside there for absolutely no reason. All right. It looks straight. It's hard to tell if something's a degree off or anything, right? Once it's on the ground, but there. And yeah, it looks kind of opposite to the way it was, but I mean that's probably because the suspension's hanging, so let's get her down. Yeah, that's a lot of work on this baby, wasn't it? Again, you gotta let it settle and all that. Let her settle. I think it's time for a test drivey. Battery off due to the airbag. I would check the fluids, and that looks something in there, but not a lot. Let's add some. Oh, well, I guess it was full. Good to know. This is shutter. The dog is like always in the way. Look at her. Always right below me now. Why? Move please. Move please. Move please. All right, I think we're in the ballpark. if not right there. The steering wheel is now a hair to this side, believe it or not. I mean, it could just be where I left it. Look at the play in it. But before it was clocked, like I think I showed you, 10 degrees to the right, and wheels look to be straight-ish. Gonna check the toe. I don't know if anybody's ever showed you how to check the toe. Excuse me again. So what you do is you check from the same spot on the other tire, nothing touching this, and as high as you can, 4, right on this tread edge, and then you do the back. And the back should be like 1/16 to 1/8 more. 1/16 to 1/8 more in the back than the front, because that's usually toe in. And most cars are very close to 0 or just like a hair towed in the front. That's called your toe in. Some cars give you a degree setting, like half a degree. I think I saw on the spec here is half a degree toe in. I mean, on the machines they'll do it by degrees, and some used to say, you know, it's 1/16 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch toe in. Then you'd measure the exact same spot on both sides, or you put a plate on there or something to measure the exact distance. And this is a pretty rudimentary, old school, and not very accurate, I'm sure, way of doing it. But if you're in your garage and you're just throwing it together to get it to an alignment shop, or you know, you don't care about the car that much, or the tires for that matter, you can use that. So I think we've got this thing buttoned up. That's I might, you know, a hairline adjust those a bit, but you know, steering wheel is reasonably straight now. Tires are straight. It's tracking straight on the drive, and we call that one done. Content creator, content maker, right here. Thanks for watching. So many billions of videos out there. I'm certainly not the best video creator. I try to show a few things that I'm doing and explain them on the way, and hope a few people enjoy them. My channel is growing, and I really appreciate anybody who's watched and clicked the subscribe button. Almost at 4,000 subscribers, which, you know, the guys are at 1 million. I do have one video, the motorhome video, getting at the cheapest motorhome in Saskatchewan and traveling up north to bear country. That one has like, I don't know, 50,000 views almost, so that's exciting for a tiny little channel. And my next video is going to be the ATV, finishing that up. Just a few more things on there. I just want to double check spark and all that, and throw it back together, and we'll finish that. So again, thanks, Danneberg Acres, over and out.